Hello and welcome to the Mongers,
where we talk about the strange and freakish things in our slice of the world. I'm Christina.
And I'm Quincy. Let's wonder, Monger. Hello, Christina.
Hi, hello.
You sounded like you weren't ready.
I wasn't.
Okay. How's your week going?
It's fine.
You could sound a tiny bit more enthused, my friend.
I woke up this morning. I went in slow motion for hours. And then, you showed up, and then I have weird energy right now. I don't know where it's coming from, and I don't know what direction it's going in. So I'm always anticipating a direction, and it's not that way.
Could it possibly because you broke your foot?
It could be. It could have something to do with it. Yeah, you heard that right. I actually did break my toe.
Just the toe, not the whole foot.
Yeah, no. It's my pinky toe, and it's in two pieces. Working on trying to be one again. We went to the hospital.
We did.
You helped drive me, and for that I am eternally grateful, and also because you ran into a situation.
The situation goes by the name of Stu, and he cornered me in the orthopedic waiting room.
Which there were no corners in that particular scenario.
You're right, there wasn't. We had walked over to check in, which was so funny because I was there as your
Correct.
What is it called? Your
Care advocate?
care advocate, yes. I was there as your care advocate because this was a new hospital, and
Yeah.
Going to the hospital in other countries can be nerve-wracking, because medical and all that good stuff. So
Yeah.
I was with you, and they sent you to go get x-rays.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and I sat down in the waiting room.
You didn't even sit.
That's
I
true.
left, you were standing and there was already engagement.
Yeah, and he was sitting, talking to us, and there was, where this just so happened to be, there was only two seats, his and the empty one next to him. And the first red flag should have been when he looked at me dead in the eye and said, "Sit down, let's have a chat." The moment a strange man says that to you, run.
Yeah, I've run into that with older men.
Right.
This was not an older man.
No.
So it was a little strange.
He was probably late 30s, early 40s,
Right.
do you think?
He was probably closer to my age.
Yeah, he wasn't old or anything, so it's not like the friendly grandpa,
Yeah.
And he was there he was a patient, seeking out some sort of treatment, and he was talking to me about, I was wearing a shirt that had the logo for my husband's old unit, military unit, and I had totally forgot that I shouldn't wear that stuff out unless I want strangers to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where other Americans will see Americans out in a country full of non-American people and see something they recognize and want to engage, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I've had situations where there've been people that are in that particular scenario, but I'm not wearing anything and they're not wearing anything, but they
Right.
just make mad eye contact with me.
And it's this, we have this understanding, right?
Yeah.
Stu and I have zero understanding.
Uh-huh.
He started talking to me about wanting to start a nonprofit, and I may have lied to him.
May have?
Well, I definitely lied to him, for sure.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that we established that.
Because he had asked me if I'd ever worked with nonprofits before.
Yeah.
And I definitely have.
Right.
But never, consistent, never, and I would just jump around to whoever needed me when I would volunteer when we were in the States. It was never I never picked a cause and, was diehard a volunteer for that organization.
Yeah.
So I volunteered just wherever somebody needed me, whenever I had free time.
Yeah.
So, but I told him that I had worked with organizations before, and he took it as I hardcore worked with an organization, and I didn't bother correcting him. And he started talking to me about wanting to start his own here in Korea and how he's some sort of professor or some sort of tutor. I don't really know. It was all very, very confusing.
Stu is a mystery, but also so many details.
And here's the part that pisses me off the most.
Hit me.
So he friend requested me on Instagram, but my Instagram is private, right? So I was going to leave him in Instagram purgatory and delete him a couple days later and hope he forgot about me. But we had ended up in the same appointment room that he had been in. Mm-hmm. And he had left his jewelry.
Yes.
That he had been wearing sitting on the sink in the appointment room.
Yeah.
And me being me, and because I know if it was my shit, I would want somebody to let me know.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, fuck, I have to accept his friend request and message him.
Yeah.
And tell him it was still there, right? Because I thought it was like a class ring or something. Mm-hmm. He had the audacity, after he went back and get it, to tell me that it was costume jewelry and all of it cost less than $5. I was so mad. I was like, I went through all of this for something that cost you less than $5? Like, if I would have known, you know, that it wasn't sentimental and wasn't important,
yeah,
I could have cared less. Like, I couldn't have cared less, but like,
right,
I didn't want it to be like, oh, that was my father's or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And you lose this sentimental piece of like jewelry or whatever.
Right.
And
regardless, you couldn't leave him in purgatory.
Yeah. And so after that, I got a message at like 7 the other morning, and it was him wasted, talking to me about this like nonprofit he wants to start, and it was really wild. And I feel like out of the two of us at the hospital, I had a worse time.
Yeah.
You were the one getting x-rayed and prodded and poked, and I was over here talking to Stu Woo and wishing I wasn't the whole entire time.
And I'm so sorry that you went through that.
It's okay.
I couldn't help you.
It's really okay. Speaking of things that you can't help me with, last week we had the question, what are two mundane things that are commonly found together that just should not go together?
Yeah.
Have you come up with your answer?
I needed help from my husband to come up with something because nothing was making sense in my brain.
Oh, because I have a ton, but go on.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. He helped me figure out that, you know, when people just walk outside and they have socks and sandals on?
Yes.
It's perfectly fine if you don't have the ones between your toes. If it's between your toes, get away from me. That shouldn't exist.
I'm just anti-socks and sandals. And I'm specifically anti-socks and Birkenstocks.
I can be fine with that. Perfectly, honestly, for me.
I'm okay with the like workout slides, you know, where it looks like you had just gone to the gym and then you took like your gym shoes off because you have specialty like rock climbing, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because I'm like, you're changing in my brain. I'm like, you're going to change shoes.
Ah.
I also just don't understand sandals that don't have the fucking toe thing.
Another thing is I don't like the word that people use to describe the ones that are not the wraparound when it's between your toes.
So growing up, we always called them thongs.
Gross.
What do you call them?
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Because they sound like
sandals.
Flip-flops. Like, I will die on this hill. You know that one lady that's on the internet that's like, in America, they call it this because of this and this.
Yes.
And then she's like,
we call it
fall because leaves fall down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I will be that person that's like, we call it flip-flop because it flip and flop. Like, I'm fine with that.
We've called them thongs forever. My grandmother actually one time went into, sorry to go off script here, but she went into a store one time when she was on vacation. So I think she was in the West Coast somewhere.
Yeah.
And she went into a store and she went, hey, do you guys sell thongs here? And then the poor woman looked at her and went, ma'am, I'm sorry, we don't sell underwear at this store. And my grandmother had to explain to her because the words flip-flops had like left my grandmother's brain because it's not a term we ever used. And so...
And see, that's the perfect scenario. That's why I will die on this hill.
And she only had to buy new ones because I think she left hers on the beach. I don't know. I may be remembering that story wrong, but I know for a fact the lady was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't sell underwear here.
That's possibly the most amazing thing you could have said.
I love that for us.
Anyway, what's your answer to this question? You said you had so many.
Oh, yeah. like, a lot of them are food related.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think ketchup and eggs go together. Truthfully, I don't like ketchup, but I can eat ketchup on other things. I will never put ketchup on my eggs. That just doesn't make sense. I don't understand peanut butter and jelly.
What?
Nothing. I didn't.
Okay, hold on. Stop. Pause, reverse. What the fuck?
Yes.
That's a staple. That's not even like a weird thing. I can understand ketchup and fucking eggs because it's a strange thing. It's like pineapple on pizza.
I love pineapple on pizza.
Okay, but it's not the norm. It's for those people that are like, I just like it. I just want to be weird. But peanut butter and jelly is a normal thing.
We mixed peanut butter with other things, and we never ate it with jelly.
What do you mean? Explain.
The two were peanut butter and Caro syrup. And peanut butter and honey.
Okay, I can see that.
And my brother did religiously peanut butter and bananas.
Yeah.
And I did religiously, you're going to hate this so much. Peanut butter and summer sausage, like the...
What the fuck? Excuse the fuck out of me? What?
Now you're going to look at me and tell me that you don't put fucking saltines on your ice cream. So I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God. What kind of monster?
Ice in my milk, all of it. Just all of the shit that you claim does not need to happen absolutely has to happen.
See, I thought the most mad that I was going to be today was about what you just said about your brother liking bananas and peanut butter, which I get, but I feel like you need like a honey or you need a maple syrup or you need a something sweetener.
Oh yeah, maple syrup with peanut butter is great.
Yeah, no.
We'd do that on pancakes.
I'm saying peanut butter, bananas, syrup of some sort.
Oh no.
With the sandwich as it is.
Well, butter.
Okay, stop.
We used to religiously butter everything before we put anything else on it. I don't do that anymore because I don't get it, but religiously we would butter it and then we would put like peanut butter on it. Or like jelly toast itself is a whole other thing. So you put butter and jelly on your toast instead. No peanut butter, just regular like margarine.
The way you people toast
throws you don't even have a fucking toaster. Don't get at me.
I do. I just never use it.
It's not even plugged in.
That doesn't matter. Neither was yours. You had to run and plug it in front of me, and you were upset about floppy bread.
That's true. I was upset about floppy bread.
Bread is bread. Toasting it is making it into toast.
Yes, correct. And so I believe if you're going to eat it, I would rather eat toast the rest of my life.
Why?
Crunch. And I know you understand because how often do you look at me and go, I could eat something crunchy right now?
I appreciate a crunch when it's absolutely necessary. Toast is fine, but I would much rather have like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on bread than toast. Like the peanut butter and toast that you just handed me.
Yes.
Perfectly fine. But it's like a little snack, a little something something. It's not a full-on sandwich. If it's an actual sandwich, don't crisp up my bread for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That's strange.
That's not weird. We also, staple used to be butter, cinnamon, and sugar.
Okay.
On toast.
I missed that. I don't know if we were just not creative enough or we didn't care enough or like that was just not a thing that we bothered with, but it just never happened in my household. Or at least I didn't personally. It
was the closest you could get to monkey bread without making monkey bread.
Yeah, that's fair. I heard monkey bread and tiger bread.
Same thing.
Oh, is it?
I
really knew.
I'm pretty sure they're the same thing. It's just a colloquialism.
So wonderful to know, to be honest.
I think it's just a colloquialism thing.
That's so nice. But I think I only had it like 2, maybe 3 times in my life.
My husband just asked me for it the other day, and I got to figure out how to make it. It's in the recesses of my mind. But we were on the phone the other day, and he goes, "You know, it would be so good, monkey bread." And I love this man, but I was not expecting him to say that.
Fair.
Because if you know my husband, he's like an eggs in purgatory kind of guy. You know, like really zesty breakfast foods. So I wasn't ready for monkey bread.
The most white people thing that could ever exist.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. See, and I thought the most upset with food you were going to be with me today was when we were at the grocery store and I grabbed a packet of instant potatoes and I looked at you and I held them up and I went, I'm going to put a ranch packet in this.
That disturbs me a lot. But the fact that you actually grabbed instant potatoes and said, I'm going to eat this at all, was also really disturbing to me.
Growing up, we would have full dinners that were just instant potatoes.
That's sinful. Honestly. Like, it's not hard. Just take a potato, wash it or peel it, dump it in some boiling water, chop that bad boy up, mash her up, and throw some butter, some salt, and like a little bit of milk, and you're good. It's not that much effort.
That's another thing I don't know if I can get behind. Washing your vegetables.
Excuse me? What do you mean? What do you mean? Please explain.
Don't tell your husband, but I don't think I've ever washed a vegetable in anything I've ever cooked him ever. Steven?
Hold on,
it's for your health.
What do you mean it's for your health? That's just dirt.
Exactly.
Don't eat dirt. That's not food. Like, when you're a kid, sure, eat as much dirt as you want. Live it. Build up that immune system. However, if your soup tastes gritty for the wrong reason...
Why would it?
Because there's sand. There's dirt. There's gunky stuff.
I'm never soaping my vegetables.
No, that's not washing vegetables. Water. Scrub brush. That's washing your vegetables.
Okay, I will run my potatoes under the tap for like a second.
Are you having any sort of friction at all with that?
No!
No? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Steven says he loves my soup.
I'm really happy.
I'm convinced now.
For y'all. But that's no...
That it's good for the soul.
Have you heard of a potato peeler?
Yes.
You can use that.
Why would I do that?
So you don't have to eat dirt?
The peels are good for your insides.
Correct, when you wash them.
You seem real mad.
I'm so disturbed. Thank God it was only peanut butter and toast I had today. You were about to offer me a salad.
I was.
Would you have washed those vegetables?
If you were standing in front of me, I would have. Because I know you would have looked at me if I started chopping them and went, did you wash that? Because you do that to me in your kitchen all the time.
Well, yeah, you gotta wash vegetables. You have to. You don't know if it's been washed thoroughly or if it still has the carcinogens still on there.
Christina?
Yes?
Everything gives you cancer.
Correct. You can slow it, though, by washing your vegetables.
Is that proven?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, science, baby.
I thought that was like a myth. No,
because like the pesticides that they use, they're spraying it on the leaves. They're spraying it on the actual fruit itself, too. Mm-hmm. When you wash...
What is a little bit of water going to do?
Think of it. Friction, it's going to do a lot.
Because, like, it's like, in my head, it's like, you know how, like, rinsing your hands isn't getting them clean?
Yeah.
Even when you rub them together?
Uh-huh.
In my head, it's the same thing as a vegetable. So I'm like, I'm cooking it anyway.
Are you cooking everything?
Most of it, yeah.
Okay, but there's also the dirt issue. Like, it's mostly for root vegetables that you should really, really scrub. Because there's so many crevasses.
I have a story for you.
Oh, no.
It has to do with my grandmother and my great-grandmother.
I don't like what's happening in your face right now.
So this predated me.
Okay.
But... my great-grandmother, when they had the farm, they would host these ginormous, like, holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff.
Okay.
So I think it was a holiday. God, I hope I'm telling the story right. I think it was a holiday, and my grandmother was sent out to the garden to pick a bunch of vegetables.
Uh-huh.
And she brought them back in, right? And then made the salad with them.
Okay.
I don't believe she rinsed them. Maybe she did. Anyway, they made the whole thing and served it.
Uh-huh.
And come to find out, there's like bugs and like larvae in this salad.
I knew it.
And they served it. And like my great grandmother noticed, but none of like the men did, it seemed. And people were like eating it. And so, if I recall the story correctly, my great grandmother just stood up, grabbed the dish from the table, brought it to the kitchen, came and sat back down like nothing happened. And I don't think anybody ever spoke of it.
I mean, you ask the average man and they're going to be like, there's some protein in there. That's fine.
It's like that episode of Friends where Rachel makes the trifle. And she makes the trifle and she puts the meat in it or whatever, because she makes half a trifle and half a freaking like pot pie or something. Like a shepherd's pie or something.
Right, except there's no bugs in that trifle.
No, I know, but it's like, it's the same concept. It's like men will eat anything.
I mean, true. They are kind of dumpsters. However, you really should be rinsing your vegetables for that reason specifically, especially stuff like cruciferous vegetables. Those are loaded with bugs all the time.
What?
You want to know what a cruciferous vegetable is?
So bad.
Okay. It's broccoli, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, stuff like that. That is your cruciferous vegetables.
I do rinse my broccoli.
Okay. I would highly suggest, if you are using fresh broccoli, submerge it under water.
Really?
Just in case, yes. Because if there are bugs hiding in there, they will...
Sorry.
They will float.
No, I hate that.
Yeah, they're going to float. And then you no longer have bugs in your broccoli. Fun fact. So, anyway, I'm going to move on from this topic. So we can, not talk about bugs in my broccoli anymore. Because eventually I'd like to eat.
So we're going to address the elephant in the room right now. We realize that our episodes have been very long and they might be hard to take in for the daily person.
Yeah.
Whether it's on your commute or on your break from work, because we've been receiving feedback. And so this is what we're going to do about it.
Yeah, right now, what we're going to do is this episode that you're listening to right now is going to be about a half hour. And that is going to be our new format. We're going to continue with that. I'm thinking, we do episodes where maybe we talk like this, but it's a full half hour. That way it's a little more digestible. And then we kick it to next week. We're going to do weekly now. That next episode is going to be, some rabbit hole stuff.
Yeah. Some things that are really going to get you thinking.
Right. And
but thinking of being digestible.
Excuse me?
Speaking of being digestible, as you said, maybe you should rinse this episode before you listen to it, so all the bugs float.
Does that mean edit?
Yes, it does.
Oh, lovely. I will definitely... I'll be submerging and, drowning these bugs in an editing room, which is just my living room.
Great. There's one thing I want to mention because I need to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
And before I make you experience it. It has to do with our hot people of the week.
Okay.
Shout out John Hamm. Shout out Lewis Pullman forever. I watched the movie Bad Times at the El Royale.
Okay.
I believe is what it's called. From 2018, and it's got John Hamm and Lewis Pullman and a bunch of other really, really famous people.
Yeah.
I watched this movie last night, and I have not stopped thinking about it.
Because, after you watched it, or even maybe during, while you were currently watching it.
Oh, it was during when I messaged you.
Okay. You just kept messaging me about it, saying, it's so good. I think that you'll actually like it. It's got these people in it.
Yeah.
I honestly, I only recognize, two of them, but...
Because I've never recommended you a movie that you've liked.
Correct. So far, you've not been able to sell me on one and then deliver on one, unfortunately.
However, this is a mystery. It's a thriller.
Which I'm down for.
There's lots of action.
Here for that.
It's got like the Scorsese like blood splatters and like some really cool SFX, and I
Very
like
Tarantino.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are twists and turns, and I was like, there's only going to be a couple people coming out alive. Like I knew that going in because of the format. And so I was taking bets on who it was going to be, who was going to be alive, and the person that I thought was going to be at the end got killed first. And I'm so bad at, like, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, and I don't want to spoil it for you, so I'm not going to tell you who dies.
Okay.
But there's like a cop, and there's an ex-military member, and there's an opera singer. Like, she's like a show, like, I don't think she's opera, but she's a singer. Mm-hmm. There's a hippie, there's a priest. Like, it's this whole motley crew of characters, and only 2 walk out of there, and it's not who you think it's gonna be. And it has just wrecked my brain. Oh, okay. And I cannot stop thinking about it. So I highly recommend go watch Bad Times at the El Royale.
Okay.
I think it's on Disney.
Okay. Because, like, I can only assume the person that you thought was going to survive till the end and then just didn't was the funny one. Like, it's either always the funny one or it's the person of color. That's always how it goes down. Sometimes it's both.
The funny one or the person of color. I'm trying to match who that would be in this movie. And I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like that's normally how it goes in horror flicks, and it's how it goes in murder mysteries generally.
Yeah, like those are the first people to go.
Which is really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that trope so much.
Yeah, let's stop killing off the token gay. We, like...
yeah. Somebody that's within the minority, or they're really funny, or both.
I believe this movie also takes place in the 70s.
Really?
And it's got a little bit of heist to it.
Ooh.
And so it's got so many layers. And I can't get over this film.
I can dig it.
Anyway, so I highly recommend that. Your husband actually posed a question for us.
Yeah. He's a lot better at figuring out questions of the week than I am. So I figured it was time that we helped, because you've been coming up with all of them so far, and I'm not good at it. So he's going to do it for me. Thanks, husband.
You're more than great at what you do. I just don't feel like you bring the confidence.
Fair. Anyway, so he came up with this. If you could taste a color, what color would you want to taste and why?
I have my answer already.
Already?
Immediately.
Jesus. All right.
Immediately.
Is it because you've been thinking about it since he said it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had it pretty much immediately, and you're going to think I'm nuts, and it's going to be kind of funny when I tell you what it is. But we will save that for the next episode.
I'm in. Great.
I really hope y'all enjoy this new format, and I hope this is more digestible and
I hope so
thoroughly
too,
rinsed.
I'm going to feel really icky about that for a while.
I'm so
just
sorry.
To let you know.
What, the vegetable thing or the fact that I'm saying rinsed?
You know, all of it. Every single particle. Every little speck of sand. Every little buggy bug that's up in there. All of it.
I'm convinced that's why it took me so long to get COVID.
It's because you ate bugs in your broccoli?
And dirt.
Okay.
It's good for you.
I don't know.
Go eat some dirt.
Okay.
That's not doctor recommended.
We can't recommend that either, legally speaking.
Oh, no. Nothing about this is legal. It's all satirical. I definitely wash my vegetables.
Absolutely.
I'm nodding my head yes.
The visual
right
is
now.
Important.
All right, guys. Have a good week. Have a good commute. Have a good work break. Have a good time until we...
Smoke break, whatever you do.
Yeah, have a good time till you see us next.
Yeah, well, listen, but yes.
Yes. See, you see us with your mind's eye. Or on the Instagram at the Wonder Mongers.
Hell yeah.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.